Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers.
I'm the captain.
Today we're acoustically powered at Andertons.co.uk here in the Guildford heart of Guildfordshire.
Acoustically powered.
Yes.
I like it. I've
Gibson.
got my X-braced underpants on. I'm ready to go.
What are they?
Well, for no real reason, I just thought we always get asked to do acoustic videos, and we don't do very many. And I have a little personal sort of penchant for these sort of old 1930s style.
Do you now?
Guitars, the sort of, the flat top sort of finger pickery kind of guitars. And, Gibson make a beautiful guitar from the 30s called the L-00. Martin will have, 00. Martin have, a similar kind of vibe as well. But they're pre-dreadnought kind of guitars. So back in the days where the steel string was still kind of morphing from the sort of the parlour-sized guitars that, the sort of the ladies would play in the parlour, from the 1800s and stuff, through to what we perhaps now perceive as the sort of the modern dreadnought, the bigger guitars which came along sort of shortly after this.
You know a lot about this.
And so this is what's called a 12th fret guitar, and that doesn't mean it's got 12 frets, but it means the body meets the fretboard at the 12th fret. If you look at most modern acoustics, again, they meet at the 14th fret, which gives you a little bit more, and of course if you've got a cutaway, a lot more access. But so the whole kind of sound and vibe of these is a bit different. I like to think of these guitars as the ultimate late night sofa guitar. You're just going to sit there and...
They're portable, easy to play, feel nice, sound nice.
See, I'm doing a little back... So you can,
I like that.
What's nice about this as well is...
We hear a Gibson guitar, it's been making...
We can talk and play at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, Rob has the standard sort of L-00, which actually we've just started to receive some of the models from the 2016 spec. So it's got the upgraded LR bags pickup system in there, slightly sort of nicer rolled edges on the fretboard, and they're using a new sort of treatment on the top to try and sort of artificially, if you like, age and cure the tops. I've got a Keb Mo signature series, which is a 2015 spec Keb Mo. Same kind of vibe really as that, just with some fancy things like the herringbone binding and the binding on the neck. And I've got the beautiful kind of open style vintage. I'll put them on that one, the sort of the vintage style machines, whereas Rob's got sort of more regular. They go, go-tos and stuff like that. So I'm not expecting a huge difference in the tone between these two, but I just thought, they're just cool.
For me, a couple of really, really nice points, a couple of not negative points, but just things you should be aware of, I suppose. The woods are great, it sounds. Being careful to maintain my equidistant triangle of power between the sound hole, 12th fret and microphone that gives you a more sustain.
Yeah.
And because it's a pyramid, it makes you younger. Great woods, feels great to play. It is a little bit, for me, a little bit sticky on the sticky in the back of the neck.
See.
But I'm not used to having finish there.
It's a 1 3/4 inch width neck at the nut here, and it gets, by the feel of things, sort of marginally wider as you go up here. That's a decent chunk wider than you'd be used to on an electric guitar or on, again, other sort of more modern acoustic guitars.
But I have to say, I'm guessing these are set up by Gibson gnomes. You know me, I'm not much of an acoustic player. I'm more of a rock and metal and bluesy kind of shredder, I suppose you'd probably say. But it's very easy to play. It's easy. They've got the action super bullet low, which I'm really enjoying.
They're certainly, once you get kind of used to the idea with the wider fretboard is it harks back to a sort of a finger pickery kind of day, so you get a little bit more string spacing. It's, again, the transition to the dreadnought was, it's a lovely story really, but round about the time of the Depression, the Great Depression in America, and more and more people were sort of wanting to use their instruments to write songs and play in front of larger crowds and kind of almost, you know, that almost like the sort of protesty type song. This call went to actually not to Gibson but to Martin, were the first brand to sort of react, and they designed a bigger acoustic so that when you strummed it, it really projected the sound louder than, you know, traditional old banjos and smaller size guitars. So Martin designed this big guitar. They named it after a British battleship, the biggest British battleship in the fleet at the time, which was the Dreadnought, HMS Dreadnought. Yeah, that would have been bad, wouldn't it? I always think that would, had it just been a few years later and they decided, or you know, just a few, and they thought, oh no, we'll call the shape the Titanic, then probably the guitars would have been completely different forever. But as I said, so this is a throwback really to a more gentler time of sort of, you know, flat picking and...
I think it's just really important to say we're shooting a serious video.
Well, it won't last, so don't worry about it.
The human body's just designed wrong. It should have ears like this.
Solid Adirondack spruce, solid mahogany back and side, same on that one. Actually, they don't specify whether it's Adirondack spruce, so they just specify spruce on that guitar.
But it does say in here, guaranteed against faulty workmanship and materials, Gibson Acoustic, Bozeman, Montana,
yes,
USA.
As it should be for a premium price guitar.
Yeah.
So it's really, this wasn't a particular video about go and buy one of these guitars. It's more a video about saying there's if you're like me and you love old vintagey kind of things, go and check out the Gibson acoustic range and the Martin acoustic range, because they are both have a wonderful selection of real kind of heritage throwback kind of instruments. And if you just, you know, if you like the idea, if you can imagine yourself sort of, you know, just sitting on the sofa back in the 1930s, you know, whilst there were no jobs in America and you couldn't buy alcohol anywhere, and you're just thinking, what a crap life that must have been. I'm going to write a really cool blues song. What I always enjoy about these smaller bodied guitars is what they lack in just power and bottoming.
They make up for in tone.
They have in tone and definition, and I sometimes find there's a slightly nicer balance across some of the notes. You know, you don't feel like it's got a scooped mid-range. The other thing as well, which is crazy when you play acoustic, obviously my ear is here, and so what I'm really kind of hearing is the sound projecting from the front of the guitar, kind of sort of reverberating off of the walls and coming back to my ear, and I'm obviously hearing a little bit here. What the microphone is hearing is really where my ear should be to get the full effect of this. So what you're hearing, and what we'll hear back when we play this back, is probably actually a much fuller, bigger sound.
It's a bit like when someone speaks.
Yeah.
Because of course our mouth microphone is here.
Yes.
But we hear it here. The human body's just designed wrong. It should have ears like this, so that you can pick up stuff in front of you like an ant, you know.
I'm going to play a little bit on my Keb Mo, and as Keb Mo is a kind of bluesy kind of a dude, let's see what I can play. Notice how the pick makes such a... as opposed to if I go... Which do I prefer? Fingers.
What do you call that piece? I'd call that Zookeeper's Boot. Oh my God!
I tell you, Rob, if you're phone goes off one more time in the middle of a video, I'm flushing it down the toilet, and you can keep that in the video, Robbie. Leave it off. So what was the other? Do you know, this is the wrong chord.
No, play that bit again.
What I wanted to do was do the thing, and then I wanted that chord.
Oh, what do you call that chord?
I have no idea. Because normally you go, but I like.
You know, that sounded exactly like the kind of a little piece that you get before one of the sections in Friends.
What, the sort of...
Yeah. Boppy boppity. Think that we jam better on acoustics than on electrics.
The acoustic is a weird instrument, really, isn't it? Because it's kind of, it doesn't have that instant, it's so fast and easy to play that an electric guitar has. But it has a certain natural, organic.
It has more
quality.
soul, and it makes me want to. It makes me feel like a writer more than just a shredder. And in fact, that's probably why I've written maybe 80% of the tunes for Dorje on an acoustic guitar.
So there you go. Look, I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and I hope we've done justice to fine American instruments. We didn't bother plugging these in. You heard everything through the wonderful Rode NTR ribbon mics.
Did we say that they're made in America? I'm pretty sure I did. But
I think you did. Well, you did, because you read out they were made in Bozeman,
Yes,
Montana, which of course is in.
Well, you know, sometimes in America they have English place names. So I wondered
it's just
if
fab.
there's somewhere else that was called Bozeman.
It's just fab. I must admit, you know, it's you're absolutely. I know it sounds corny, but you are absolutely buying a little piece of history, aren't you, when you buy one of these? A little piece of history.
Makes me want to eat it with some hash browns and some grits and some of that really rubbish coffee they serve in America.
So there we go. That's it. They come with a beautiful case. I'll show you the case. If I can just squeeze down here. Let's get that in shot. That's fully in shot. So that's the case. They both come with one of those. They're very nice. And yeah, they both all set up professionally and nice. And so we haven't done anything to these. This is, you know, just don't need to.
No. In which case, I have been Rob Chapman.
And I have been the captain.
We bid ye farewell.